The year of the unsmoke. CEO André Calantzopoulos joins us this morning in a CNBC exclusive. André, thank you so much for your time. Viewers might be wondering why a company would tell their customers to stop using their product.
Well, we have set ourselves a new vision for the company, which is to create a world free of cigarette smoke by convincing the 1.1 billion men and women who smoke of the world and that would not otherwise quit to switch to better alternatives. And for that, we have developed a large portfolio of new products that all have the underlying fact that they do not burn. And they are heated tobacco products, or what is more known in the US, e-vapor products or pure nicotine products. And we have spent so far $6 billion in their development, their scientific assessment to quantify that they are better than cigarettes, as well as capital expenditure and commercial expenditures. And these products are present in more than 45 markets around the world. So we're very serious about this new vision. But our efforts are not sufficient in our view. We also need people in public health, governments, regulators, to also move in the same direction so we can accelerate the move of people out of cigarette smoke. And this is precisely in this context that this new initiative, the Unsmoke Your World campaign, is going to run this year. And the world essentially, in my view, has a double meaning. The first is obviously talking to the people who smoke today, but also the people around them who care about them, their families. And also, as I said, talking to governments that somehow are a bit slow in adapting the regulatory regimes to help the people quit or switch. And at the same time, it has also the meaning of a little bit kind of a smoke your mind, the double meaning, because there's still a lot of opposition to these alternatives. And that creates quite a lot of confusion among the people who smoke. I mean, you know, in the US, there has been a lot of controversy whether electronic cigarettes or e-vapor products are as dangerous as cigarettes, and that has to be dissipated because that confuses people and preempts them from switching. So, in a nutshell, that's the the outline of the initiative.
I got you. I mean, obviously, the government responses around the world have been varied. Do you have projections as to what smoking rates might do if e-cigarettes do get a runway? Is there a moment where you think the combustible cigarette is virtually extinct?
Well, there will be that day, and that's exactly our effort. So we have heated tobacco products that are not yet approved in the US because they're under FDA review for the last 2 years. The whole scientific file is there. But also you have the e-vapor products. So as people switch out of cigarettes, naturally the cigarette market will decline, and that's the objective. And I think it makes sense because for us, it's the right thing to do for the people who smoke and the people around them. It's the right thing to do for our shareholders because it's a much more sustainable long-term business. We also, because these products are not cigarettes, we have more favorable tax regimes in many countries around the world. So it all comes together in something that takes both business sense and public health sense. So our ambition is to replace cigarettes as soon as possible, or the day will come that cigarettes are out.
André, it's Sarah. You know, when we talked in Davos about this push, one of the wild cards that was out there for you was whether you would get approval to sell these kind of products in the U.S. We have an FDA that has called teen vaping a health crisis. What makes you think that you're going to be able to sell these products here?
Well, first of all, and as we discussed in Davos, the US FDA is the only agency in the world that has a full regulatory regime for pre-market and post-market surveillance. The file we submitted, I think it's unique in its content because it's probably the most comprehensive file ever submitted in the category to the US FDA. And I find it's natural that the FDA takes some time to evaluate fully this product. It's the first time they go through the entire process themselves. Also, in all fairness, as far as the modified risk tobacco product approval request is concerned, we submitted only at the later end of 2018 the latest studies we had on long-term clinical, so it takes some time. So I'm hopeful that now that all the files have been submitted, eventually we will get the approval either under the PMTA, the product approval for commercialization without health benefit communication to consumers, or even better, if possible, under the modified risk tobacco product regime.
Finally, I wonder if,
in the other markets around the world.
I'm just curious, a lot of the public policy resistance to e-cigarettes in particular is driven by researchers who believe that because so-called big tobacco is involved, it must somehow be wrong. And I wonder if you think legacy reputation is a bit of a factor here.
Certainly there is, but I think we should not forget that we have in front of us 40 million plus men and women who smoke in the United States and 1 billion plus around the world. So I understand sometimes ideology and emotion is there, is present, but we have to put the interest of the people who smoke squarely in the middle and start an adult, in my view, conversation about how best and how fast we can bring these products to the people who smoke today while minimizing unintended use, like youth use, which is a major concern for us, and we pay a lot of attention to that. But we should not have a conversation whether better products should be made available, because in any other product category, better products are widely acceptable. I mean, solar panels are not zero impact on the environment, but are better than burning coal. Electric cars are not zero impact, but they are better. So I think we have to move out of this emotional debate, yes,